Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is another Storytime with Will episode. This Storytime with Will is about bus travel. I just traveled from Texas to Kentucky and I moved. So there are a lot of stories that come out of a bus ride. I'm going to only talk about a couple of them today. And then I'll kind of spread these out over the course of the next couple of weeks. Because trust me, they're stories. As a matter of fact, I'm seriously considering writing a small comedy. I say comedy book. I don't know how funny I really am, but we're going to find out because I'm going to actually write a small book called The 10 Commandments of Bus Travel. Based on this trip alone, um, so I'll talk about a couple of stories real quick that really kind of deal with things you learn when you're riding on a bus. And when I say riding on a bus, we're talking about a long trip. We're talking about like a Greyhound or a Metro bus or whatever kind of bus situation. You know, we're not talking about local transit necessarily. So the first thing I learned when riding a bus is that sometimes you'll be on a bus and you'll have your headphones on and you're just listening to music and stuff. And, try to just be your own thing, do your own thing. It's the middle of the day, you got some reading materials. And some guy will just randomly start talking to you. I didn't expect it. I had no idea it was coming. And this guy told me all about some stuff. Um, he basically told me he was a former military guy. He'd been in the military for, I think, 15 years. Went ahead and got out of the military, married a girl he met while he was in the military. They had like 5 kids, and they were all going to college in around the same time. They've either graduated within the last year or so from each other, or they're still in school. The reason why this story makes it on this list of stories of things about the 10 Commandments of bus rides is because as the guy kept talking, it got to a point where it was like I couldn't just have peace, man. It's like and he talked. I mean, at one point he talked about his wife. He talked about how beautiful she was, and she was Vietnamese, and all these wonderful things. And then, like a second later, he came back and started talking about how, oh my gosh, she's so stupid because she she had made a mistake giving some of the kids money for college. She gave them some money, and so because of that, there was something wrong with the bank account. And so that was something that was kind of hard to deal with because I was just sitting here going, okay, if you're complimenting her, compliment her. But, don't come back at me 5 seconds later and tell me about how she's stupid. And they talked about the kids, and we got these kids, and they're wonderful, and they've all got careers, and they're all doing all these things. But then, he kept going and talking about how the kids, they bled them dry with money because all this money was spending in college on them. And then, just talking about, I wish they'd pay us back and all this other stuff. And at one point he went back and talked about his wife again, talking about how beautiful she was and all this other stuff. And then talked about how she accused him because he was a trucker apparently now. And talked about how, she constantly accused him of being, having another relationship on the side somewhere, because he's a trucker. So he drives all around the world. And just all these things and said, well, I guess if she thinks I have another woman, maybe I ought to go ahead and have another woman. Here's a newsflash, dude. First of all, I'm on a bus. I'm riding from Houston to Dallas. That's a 4-hour trip. If you're going to talk to me for 2.5 hours of that trip, man, that's not cool. It was just the weirdest thing because he just kept talking. Now, the piece de resistance of this story is that he apparently calls his bank because of the issue with his money from earlier, and he starts threatening to blow the bank up. He starts threatening to kill everybody in the bank and blow the bank up in Dallas, where we're headed. So, of course, I'm like, what am I supposed to do? So, of course, I get to the bus station, and I immediately find somebody, and I tell him, hey, this guy was sitting next to me. He threatened to blow up the bank. Now, here I am. At first, I'm thinking, oh, no, he's just upset. It's no big deal. The problem is, it's 2017. You never know. You never know if this guy is legit talking for real. You have no idea. So, all I'm saying is, I guess for the first commandment of riding a bus, if somebody puts you in a situation and they make an idle threat, just be careful with it. There was a whole bunch of other stuff going on with this guy. At one point there was this guy who was Hindi, who went to the restroom, and then he started talking about, it's one of those Arabs. They're going to the bathroom. Why are they going to the bathroom? It's like, dude, because he has to pee? I don't know. Did you see that thing in his hand? No, I didn't see anything in his hands. I didn't really see him. I just kind of saw a guy getting up. I didn't take 20-second inventory on the dude. But anyway, that's a story from the bus ride to Kentucky. I hope as time goes on that you hear more of these. Hopefully that it might give you a little something to laugh at. Do me a favor. Here's a question for you. Have you ever ridden on a bus? And if you have, do you have any crazy horror stories from a bus ride, from a long bus trip somewhere? Go ahead and comment on that below. Let's get a dialogue going on this. I'd be interested to see the stories that come out that you guys have. Anyway, as always, thank you guys so much for being with me on this. Thank you for taking the time to watch. For those who subscribe, thank you for that. For those who comment, thank you for that. If you want to know when another episode of this is coming out, go ahead and hit that subscribe bell so that way you can get a notification whenever I post a new one. Anyway, thanks guys. Take care. Love you. As always, be blessed and be a blessing to somebody, guys. And thank you so much for your journey. Take care, guys.